Erios original.
Hello and welcome to Webcrawlers, the podcast where we do a deep dive into some of our favorite unsolved mysteries. Each week we will introduce our topic, lay out our research and findings, reveal some conspiracies, and conclude with our own hypothesis.
Going great.
Who knows? We might even solve a case. I am Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetton.
Webcrawlers has a Patreon.
Wow.
To get access to rewards, bonus episodes, shout-outs, merch discounts, and in-studio videos of full episodes released a day early.
Yeah.
Can you believe? Say hi to the camera. Cheers. Please go to patreon.com/webcrawlers. You can donate as little as $2 a month to become one of our bimbo patrons. For merch, go to webcrawlerspod.com or
Hothorse.horse.
if you're nasty. We have a Cameo also if you want a special video from me or Melissa or both of us if you're lucky. Go to Webcrawlerspod on Cameo. Melissa, what is our main story?
Well, our main story today is about the Watcher House.
Ooh.
In 2014, a family bought their dream home, but was tormented by anonymous threatening letters from a so-called Watcher.
Shit.
It was a nightmare that kept getting stranger and stranger. Let's get
into it.
Okay. So this story is, I read this first in an article in The Cut by this guy named Reeves Weidman, and it's an amazing story. So here it is.
It's really scary. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like my worst nightmare.
Mine too, other than being on a cruise ship with coronavirus.
Yes. Which turned out to not be
False
real.
alarm, everyone.
But maybe they're just saying it was a false alarm
Yeah, who knows?
to appease us.
Yep. Okay, in June 2014.
Wait, you know what else is my worst nightmare?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Carpet.
The smell in this room.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say Maria chewing in my ear.
No.
No.
The smell in this room right now.
Okay, I just wanted, Amanda, if you're listening,
Hi, Amanda.
your salad that you had from your Equinox gym, it was a very healthy salad. It's permeated the office to where people come in and they think they're confused at the smell.
It's a smell I've never smelled before. I can't describe it.
I walked in and I said, my words were, who farted?
And so I keep saying it's a salad, but those words don't,
They don't resonate.
No, it's not
This
a
is
salad.
because it doesn't smell like a salad.
So maybe from now on there'll be salads can only be eaten with no dressing, maybe.
I don't think it's dressing. It smells like,
know.
when something's really healthy, it smells like
Yeah.
it smells like something fermented. Like it smells like
Yes.
maybe there was a
Fermented.
cabbage, like a
Yeah.
fermented cabbage or like
Oh, yep.
like
a kimchi.
a kimchi.
Okay,
or
yeah.
maybe
This
a
smells like a
Brussels
kimchi
sprout.
fridge in here. Is what it smells like.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's
An egg.
the thing
Yeah.
is, it's Amanda being healthy for herself,
Which
That's
is
great.
beautiful.
Great.
thing.
We're all for that.
but some of us had to be.
We shouldn't deal with the consequences of the smell. And then Maria lit this candle.
I lit that to get the smell
But
away.
then it's
I
just
don't
two
know. It was just
overpowering
two
smells.
But then I put on some
Fornicating.
Rose
Yeah.
hand sanitizer, and that
Which
smells
smells
good.
great. This smells great.
Yeah.
Allie didn't even want to smell it. She's
'Cause
done.
there's too many smells.
I've noticed that you're very smell conscious.
I am sensitive to smell.
Yeah.
It makes me a little nauseated.
Yep. Me
I don't know
Me
what
too.
to. I don't know what to do.
I think you're
It's
nauseated.
okay
you just
now.
burped. You just inside burped twice. You're pretending to be fine.
I kind of went overboard on how many treats I've been eating. I had a Lara bar, and then I immediately went for some nuts.
There's still a box of C's candy that's been in this room a
You
month.
two weren't shy about
I've
that.
had 20 of those.
As soon as you walked in, those little sticky fingers got in there.
All right. Well, anyways, back to other
business.
kinds of horrors.
Okay, so in June 2014, Derek and Maria Brodus bought their dream home at 657 Boulevard in Westfield, New Jersey for $1.3 million.
Damn.
What a steal. Maria had grown up on the same street as the house, plus the 6 bedrooms would be perfect for their 3 kids. So while they were doing renovations, Derek checked the mail and he found a plain white envelope with strange, clunky handwriting that was addressed to the new owner. And the letter was typed, and it said, "Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood." Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
How did you end up here?
Another nice question.
Sure. Did 657 Boulevard call to you with its force within?
Starting to get weird.
657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now, and as it approaches its 110th birthday, I've been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming.
Uh-oh.
My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you know what lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard?
Uh-oh.
Do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested?
Oof.
Better for me. Was your old house too small for the growing family, or was it greed to bring me your children?
Yikes.
Once I know their names, I will call to them and draw them to me.
Oh, God.
Who am I? There are hundreds and hundreds of cars that drive by 657 Boulevard each day. Maybe I am in one. Look at all the windows you can see from 657 Boulevard. Maybe I am in one. Look out any of the windows in 657 Boulevard at all the people who stroll by each day.
Oh, God.
Maybe I am one. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. Let the party begin. Signed, The Watcher.
I have chills everywhere.
So Derek called the police, and an officer came to the house, and he had no idea what to do with the letter. He's like, I don't know what to do. And he asked him if he had any enemies.
Hold on. I just stopped recording by accident. Go ahead.
You just accidentally pressed the stop button. Whoops.
It was on. I just stopped the recording by accident, but now it's back on.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
So you got so into the story.
So he
you
called
got
the police.
so
I
engrossed.
stopped it. I said, no one can hear
can't.
this. So
can't do
he
this.
called the police because it was scary.
And the cop was like, I don't know what to do. And the cop was like, well, do you have any enemies? But Derek couldn't think of any enemies. So he emailed the previous owners that he bought the house from, the Woods, and they said they had received a letter from the Watcher a few days before they moved out. And they said it sounded similar to the one that Derek just got, but they'd thrown it away because they were like, I don't know, we don't know what this means. They didn't even think about it. So Maria, Derek's wife, took the letter to the police department, and they said to not tell any neighbors about it because the neighbors were all suspects now.
Shit.
Yeah.
Before I go on to the next section, I just looked up the number 657 and the meaning of it.
No.
Would you like to hear?
Would
The
love to.
anagram.
No, just 657, the angel number, what the meaning behind the number is. Numerology.
We love numerology on
Yeah.
Webcrawlers.
Number 657 is a combination of the energies and vibrations of the number 6, 5, and
That's so insightful.
I just look snot out my head. Number 6 relates to possessions, the material and monetary aspects, love of home and family, care and nurturing, grace and gratitude, domesticity, practicality, honesty and integrity. Number 5 encourages us to be true to ourselves and live our lives accordingly. Important changes, life lessons through experience. Number 7 vibrates with the mystical influences of spiritual awakening, inner knowing, empathy, and psychic abilities.
Oh, shit.
I'm a 5.
Sick. Angel number 657 indicates that the changes you have made and your commitment to adding more spirituality into your daily life have propelled you along your divine life path and helped you with your soul purpose. You are on the right path regards to the life changes you are currently making, and your angels are with you. Hold on. Let me just, because this doesn't... I thought it would be a little darker. Okay. New spiritual and psychic experiences are changing your perspective about yourself, those around you, and the world as a whole. Allow your inner spirituality to grow and expand through meditation, study, and prayer. Your inner guide and angels will lead you to the path where you can best serve your soul mission.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. So a week later, their contractor arrived one morning to find that a heavy sign he'd hammered into the front yard had been ripped out overnight.
Oh.
Uh-oh. 2 weeks after the first letter arrived, Maria stopped by the house to look at paint samples and check the mail. There was another envelope with the same writing on it, so she called the police. This letter was addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Braddis, but spelled incorrectly. The letter said, "Welcome again to your new home at 657 Boulevard.
Nice.
The workers have been busy, and I have been watching you unload carfuls of your personal belongings.
Okay.
The dumpster is a nice touch. Have they found what is in the walls yet? In time they will. I am pleased to know your names now and the names of the young blood you have brought to me. You certainly say their names often."
Ew.
Can I just say this really quickly? I would be so pumped if I was encountering this in a new house. Because
You would be pumped?
it's not a ghost. It's a watcher. Yeah, that's fine or whatever. But it's not like this watcher may be scary, but he's also just like trying to have a good time. Because he's trying to he's a riddler.
Oh, he's like the in a Lord of the Rings, the Gollum.
Yeah, he's like a golem. He's like a suburban golem.
If
Yeah.
someone, the
But-
suburban golem is kind of a cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
believe me, I know. But you're saying that if you were getting riddles on your doorstep and they're not threatening you, they're just going like, see what's in the walls.
But-
and he
well-
may threaten later, but I'm just saying at this point, I would be like, this is dope. Like, I like this neighborhood. Like, I'm like,
This place is fun.
yeah, I'd say this is a lot of fun.
Okay.
Like, what's in the walls? I would take a sledgehammer
Oh, I
to those
know.
walls so
I
quickly.
mean, so would
Yeah.
I. I would think there's dead bodies in the walls or
Yeah.
something.
I would
Oh,
also
tre-
laugh
treasure.
so hard at the way they were speaking,
I
like the
know.
blood. Like you sure speak of them often. Like what are you talking? I don't say anyone's name a lot ever. Do you know?
I don't know if I could take this seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let me tell you, I'd be scared as fucking hell. Also, if someone was calling my children young blood,
But they
Yeah,
are,
the
aren't they?
children
That's
thing
not a
is-
lie.
like young blood.
Well, it's a fact, I guess.
I know. I like
It's a
the Watcher.
fact
I
of
think the
life.
Watcher's kind of cool.
Oh, God.
I
And
do.
I'm worried about
Here
you.
we
Is
go.
that wrong?
No,
No.
that's cute, Maria.
The Watcher.
Neighborhood
When I was
golem,
the
suburban
Watcher.
golem.
When I was reading these, I was getting the voice of the Witcher in my head from the big ones.
You mean the Clowner?
The Clowner.
The Witcher.
I was calling it the Witcher.
Hello. That's the
Hate it.
I
Clowner.
was reading it in the Clowner's voice.
Welcome
Witcher.
again to your new home at
That's so great.
657 Boulevard.
Quick question before you continue. What were they written in?
They were typed, but the envelopes were handwritten in like weird,
Like
clunky
black
handwriting.
Sharpie.
nice
Yeah.
touch. Nice
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah.
Maria,
Okay.
are you
Are you
The
the
Watcher.
Watcher?
Are you the Watcher?
The Watcher likes what he's hearing.
Oh, boy.
Why does it feel sexual now?
Yeah, yeah, it's creepy.
The Watcher likes to watch. The letter mentioned their children's birth order and nicknames and asked about one child in particular who the Watcher had seen using an easel inside an enclosed porch. Is she the artist in the family? The Watcher said.
She is. What's that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
she
what's wrong?
Okay.
Side note, the easel on the porch was hidden from the street by trees, making it difficult to see unless someone was behind the house or right next to the door.
Yeah, so someone had to be
Yeah.
very close to
The
see.
Watcher's getting up in there.
Why? This is 2014.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the why didn't they
Maria,
get
go away.
I'm sorry, but like the moment the Watcher leaves a note on my doorstep, I'm laughing. I'm like, this is crazy. There's security cameras up immediately. And you know what? Yeah, I just spent $1 million on this house. I've got the money.
Well,
is
that's
true.
what they do. That's
They
exactly
did it a
what
little
they
too
do.
late.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
My
I'm done.
my friend has who lives near me, my neighbor, got one of those Nest cams.
Oh, fuck those Nest cameras.
Okay, I'm not joking. Almost every day, and he puts them on his Instagram stories. There is
No.
someone trying to break into his house. Oh,
What?
and a different person. Almost every single day, someone opening the door, closing it, someone taking his mail, and he's like my neighbor. And I live in Los Feliz, in a suburban area.
Does
that's
he live in
nice.
an apartment building or a house?
It's not. It's like a little bungalow cottage, so it's standalone. Fortunately, I live in an apartment building on like the second floor,
Yeah.
and it's gated, and like no one can get in. But
every Ring video I see is terrible. Like that woman with the knife. The
Yes.
old lady with the knife.
it's so scary. And
No.
he installed like a lock on his door, like a
Oh,
padlock, so you
okay.
can't get in. But it's people just like opening the door,
Oh my
staring
God.
in, like looking,
Like during the day.
at night.
Oh, hell no.
How scary is that?
When I lived at home with my parents in the Palisades, which is
A week ago?
Yeah, I wish. Which is a nice neighborhood, and we never had any problems or whatever.
What if that was the end of your story? When I lived in a rich neighborhood, I never had any problems.
I can't relate. But there was one night when like everyone in my family was out, and I was playing Angry Birds on my phone in my room.
Oh no.
And I don't have a very good reactionary like I'm good in like a situation where it's like we gotta go, but like in a situation where it's like I don't have to get up, I'm not going to. So like I hear someone trying to get in through the back door, and my room's right above the back door, like on the second floor. And I hear this, and I'm playing Angry Birds, and I'm like, oh.
Who is it now?
So I text my brother. I was like, Anthony, are you trying to get in? And he's like, no, like right away. And I'm like, is it one of your friends?
Just an
and he's
inconvenience.
like, no. I did not care. And like after a moment, like it stopped, and like I kind of looked out, and then I just went back to playing my game.
Oh my God, Maria, you're crazy. You have
So
balls of steel.
I'm the watcher.
You didn't see anyone?
No, I didn't see anyone.
God.
The watcher.
Okay, well, the letter also said, it continues, will you let the kids go in the basement? When they're down there, you won't be able to hear them scream.
Ooh, like in space, nobody hears you scream.
Yeah. Who has the bedroom?
In storage space. Nobody
Yes.
can hear you scream.
Yes. Who has the bedrooms facing the street? I'll know as soon as you move in. It will help me to know who is in which bedroom. Then I can plan better. I pass by many times a day. 657 Boulevard is my job, my life, my obsession. And now you are too. Greed is what brought the past 3 families to 657 Boulevard, and now it has brought you to me. Have a happy moving in day. You know I will be watching. Derek and Maria stopped bringing the kids to the house, and then they both stopped going over there. They got another letter that said, where have you gone to? 657 Boulevard is missing you.
Aw.
Yeah, cute. The letters had all been stamped in the Kearney post office in northern New Jersey. The first was postmarked June 4th before the sale was even public.
Yeah.
So it had to be someone who knew that the house was being sold.
It was the
Yeah.
real estate agent.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
that
I'm sorry.
could-
I'm jumping
it's a
to
theory.
that could be a thing.
Maybe.
Yeah. Someone
That's so
who
funny.
knew
Yeah,
because they hadn't even moved in yet.
they hadn't moved in.
So, okay, so Maria and Derek went to a barbecue across the street that was welcoming them and another new homeowner to the block.
Which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like if I moved somewhere that had a welcome barbecue for me,
Yeah, no.
when I moved in, I'd be like, that's creepy.
No, I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Party for me, I would not go.
What about a party that was a barbecue and they just invited you?
Then that's different.
Okay.
That's fine.
If the community was having a barbecue and they're like, you're invited, I'd be
Yes.
like, fine. A barbecue in my honor because I'm moving in, there's something
Get
weird
out
about
of
the
here.
neighborhood.
Even if they're just trying to get you to meet all your neighbors?
There's something weird about the
No.
neighborhood.
Okay.
That's very Rosemary's Baby-ish.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
So at one point, Derek was chatting with John Schmidt, who lived 2 doors down from him, and then John told him about the Langfords who lived between them. Peggy Langford was in her 90s, and several of her adult children, all in their 60s, lived with her.
Ew.
So John said the family was a bit strange, but harmless. But you know when people always describe serial killers, they're like, oh, he was harmless. I had no idea.
Yeah,
like
John
that.
Wayne Gacy was a party clown.
Yeah, that means nothing. That means nothing.
And he was a Pisces.
Wow.
And so is Richard Ramirez.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks.
So this guy John talked about Michael Langford, who didn't work, and he had a really long beard. That's what he said about him.
Red flag.
Yeah. He would walk through his neighbors' yards and peek through windows. So Derek thought that it was likely that Michael was behind all these letters. And the Langford house was right next door, and so he could see the easel on the porch. And the family had lived there since the 1960s when, according to the letters, the Watcher's father had begun observing 657 Boulevard.
Oh, shit.
So Richard Langford, the father, he had died 12 years earlier, and the current Watcher claimed to have been on the job for the better part of 2 decades. So case closed, right? It's this guy, Michael.
Wasn't Michael schizophrenic also?
He was. He
Yeah.
was. Derek told the police about Michael Langford, and they brought him in for questioning. He denied knowing anything, but the police said that, quote, the narrative of what he said matched things mentioned in the letters. But there wasn't any hard evidence, so the police couldn't arrest him. And so Derek decided to take matters in his own hands, and he set up webcams all around his house. Webcams. He got obsessed, and he hung out in the house at night with all the lights out, looking outside to try to catch the watcher.
Also, I remember hearing that after the police talked to Michael Langford, they told Derek, like, you won't be having any problems anymore. Even though they didn't say that Michael Langford was guilty or anything like that, but they talked to him and then told Derek, like, you won't be having any issues anymore. So almost like they thought Michael Langford was guilty.
Weird.
And yeah.
So Derek created a map showing when each of his neighbors had moved in, with overlays marking possible sight lines for the easel. It was some like beautiful mind stuff he's doing.
That sounds like the most fun project.
That's what I was like, this is something I would do.
Oh my God, guys.
So he had like a circle on top that was for approximate range of earshot to estimate who might have heard Maria yelling the kids' names.
This is insane.
And only a few homes fit both the criteria. And then Derek ended up hiring a private investigator to do background checks on his neighbors.
I can imagine someone coming to us with like an issue like this.
Yes.
And then we are investigating
This is my dream.
And then like
my dream.
And then you set up something like some weird beautiful mind shit of like, these are the people in the neighborhood.
Oh my God, I would love this.
With red strings.
Yes.
Oh.
Meanwhile, I'm just conducting a seance.
Yeah. You gotta hit all avenues.
Yeah.
So true. So Derek reached out to a former FBI agent who he knew, who was actually the inspiration for Clarice in Silence of the Lambs.
Well, that's tight.
Yeah, and he hired another FBI agent. So these two agents, they noticed old-fashioned ticks on the handwriting and the letters, like weird stuff on the letters that would suggest it was an older writer.
Interesting.
And the sentences were double-spaced, and there was no profanity. So the agents thought it could be a, quote, less macho writer. Or perhaps the watcher was jealous that the Broadduses had bought a home that the writer couldn't afford.
Interesting.
So the police brought in Michael Langford again for questioning, but they got nowhere. And then Derek hired a lawyer as well. So then Maria and Derek, they both started having panic dreams. Maria was paranoid. She was being watched all day long everywhere she went. Yeah. And she would spend hours Googling people she thought were suspicious, and she was totally obsessed. But by the end of 2014, the case grew cold.
Okay.
So the renovations on the house were finished, but the family didn't feel comfortable moving in yet.
I get it.
So Derek looked into getting a German Shepherd, and he even put out a job ad on a military veterans website that said, all you have to do is work out in the backyard every day.
Like pump iron?
Yeah, that's just insane.
No, that's smart.
So just like,
I guess.
It's just like a watchdog that can
some dude just pumping iron in the back. I mean, I guess. And then they got another letter.
oh shit, buckle up everybody.
657 Boulevard is turning on me. I don't understand why. What spell did you cast on it? It used to be my friend and now it is my enemy. I am in charge of 657 Boulevard. It is not in charge of me. It will not punish me. I will rise again.
Oh my God.
I will be patient and wait for this to pass, and for you to bring the young blood back to me. Let the young blood sleep in 657 Boulevard. Stop changing it and let it alone.
Ugh.
Let it alone. Okay, so Derek and Maria ended up moving into Maria's mother's house while they continued to pay the mortgage on this house. And they fought all the time. They started taking medication to sleep. Derek was depressed. Maria started seeing a therapist, and the therapist said that she was suffering from post-traumatic stress that wouldn't go away until they got rid of the house. So they were just like freaking out.
Oh my God, maybe the therapist has been writing the letters because she wants the house.
She needs the business.
Yeah. Okay, 6 months after the letters arrived, they decided to sell the house. I would have sold it after letter one.
Yeah.
They listed it for more than what they paid because of their renovations, but no one wanted to buy the house because of the rumors of a stalker or pedophile.
Yeah, no shit.
Also, it's to mention there were sex offenders in the neighborhood.
Oh.
Yeah, the police looked and there were pedophiles in the neighborhood who they also interviewed, but it wasn't.
I didn't know his letters were like pedophile letters.
Well, there was mentioning the children.
It was mentioning the
right,
children a
right,
lot.
but it wasn't like explicitly like it just like it all seemed like part of the watcherness of it. But
yeah, I mean, it wasn't like
creepy.
horny, but it was like
right. No, it's
like,
creepy as hell,
yeah.
but it's not horny as hell.
It's not horny as hell.
Yeah,
The Watcher's creepy as hell, but not
not
horny.
horny. Yeah, he's creepy, not horny. They got a few. He's horny for the house.
Yeah, no,
Also, fuck that house.
He's
He
a
has
houseophile.
objectophilia. Yeah. They got a few offers for well below the selling price, but couldn't afford to take them. 6 months later, they decided to sue the old owners for not telling them. They had also received a letter from the Watcher.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if it gets to this later. Okay, never mind. It does. Sorry, where was I? Okay. A local reporter had found the complaint, which includes some of the letters, and it ended up being a story on the Today Show.
Uh-oh.
News trucks started showing up at the house. Over 300 reporters contacted Derek and Maria, but they didn't speak to anyone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is kind of a good point, a good way to show that this isn't a ploy for money or anything or fame.
Sure,
this was
yeah.
happening. A veteran detective was asked to look at the case. And once again, they were suspicious about the neighbor, Michael Langford. According to his brother, Sandy Langford, Michael had been diagnosed with schizophrenia as a young man. He sometimes scared newcomers to the neighborhood when he did strange things like walk through their backyard or peek into the window of homes that were being renovated. But those who knew him said that the odd things he did were mostly just unusual neighborly kindnesses.
I mean,
or just weird things.
No, I believe that because there's a line that's crossed between like someone that's like weird in general, or not weird, but like, you know, goes to the beat of their own drum, or just kind of like does things out of the ordinary, and then to like write a letter like that and like be so manipulative with it.
Yeah.
That just seems out of character almost for a person that kind of wanders the streets and
like if you're gonna do that, you don't want to do anything else weird to be suspicious.
exactly.
Right.
And if he hadn't done that to anyone else, I don't know.
Yeah. One night while investigators were surveilling the house, a car suspiciously stopped outside the house. The car was traced to a woman who lived in a town close by, but her boyfriend lived on the same block as 657 Boulevard. Yeah, girl, I hope you're doing a drive-by.
Mm-hmm.
The woman told investigators her boyfriend was into some really dark video games, including one where he played a character called the Watcher.
Yeah.
He agreed to be interviewed, but never showed up.
Yeah.
The detectives didn't have enough evidence to force him to come in, so he was never questioned.
Yeah. Never talked to him.
Investigators conducted a DNA analysis on one of the envelopes and determined that the DNA belonged to a woman.
Maria Blasucci. A woman.
Me?
Yeah.
So now
Maybe
there's a 50% chance it is you.
Yeah. Because it's a woman. A woman
Yeah.
has been writing these letters.
Okay, fair enough. Continue.
Okay, I'm interested.
They
Touché.
started suspecting Abby Langford, Michael's sister, who worked as a real estate agent.
Oh my God.
Was she upset about missing a commission right next door?
God.
Yeah.
She also worked at the local Lord & Taylor, and the investigation coordinated with a security guard there to grab her plastic water bottle during a shift. But the DNA sample was not a match.
Nope.
The prosecutor's office told Derek and Maria they had ruled out the Langfords as suspects.
So Derek and Maria continue investigating on their own. They talk to another neighbor who said his son joked about the Watcher sounding like him, which is weird. They also hired Robert Leonard, a forensic linguist and former member of the band Sha-Na Na.
That's insane.
And he didn't find any overlap when scouring online forums for similarities to the Watcher's writing. And then Derek asked his friend in tech to connect him to a hacker willing to try breaking into Wi-Fi networks in the neighborhood to look for incriminating documents, but that was insanely illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So a woman who lived in the neighborhood had been talking to other neighbors, and she brought up that perhaps it was Derek who was sending the letters himself.
What?
And maybe Derek had buyer's remorse or realized that they couldn't afford the house. Or was it an insurance scam somehow?
Interesting.
So 2 years after the Watcher's letters arrived, Derek and Maria borrowed money from family members to buy a second home in Westfield using an LLC to keep the location private.
Okay.
But they were still stressed out, and the first time Maria let her daughter go to the pool with her friends, she was just staring at the tracker on her daughter's iPhone the whole time because she was just still paranoid. And so the lawsuit against the Woodses, the original owners of the house, that it was dismissed. So they did not win that lawsuit. So now they had to figure out what they were going to do with this house. And so in 2016, they put it back on the market. And a ton of people came to the open house, but no one wants to buy it. And so the real estate lawyer suggested that they sell it to a developer who would tear it down, split the property into 2 lots, and they could get $1 million for it. So, but when the proposal was announced, people were going off in the neighborhood's Facebook page, calling them scammers and liars.
Oh, shit.
And they also said the new development wouldn't look as nice because they would have to knock down trees and the garages had to be facing forward.
Gross.
Yeah, they didn't want to fuck up like the aesthetics of the neighborhood. And so the judge ended up denying the proposal anyway.
Well, I want them to knock down the house so they can see what's in those fucking walls.
Yeah, some of those walls in the basement.
What
It's
do you
like
mean
the burbs.
front-facing garages? Aren't all garages front-facing?
Well, these houses are like, no, they have garages on the side. Like they're big Victorian style houses, but the garages are all on the side.
oh, so it's like a carriage. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
got
the
it,
neighborhood
got
is
it.
like the houses all look the same, and it's like it's
Like
a rich
tract
neighborhood.
houses?
Yeah. So
Oh, weird.
yeah. So Derek eventually found someone to rent the
It's
house.
not the Palisades, Maria.
Yeah, Maria.
Oh, says Allie from the Palisades. Jesus.
So Derek, they found people to rent the house, but in the lease it said that the new tenants could move out if the letters started up again. Well, 2 weeks after the new tenants moved in, Derek went to the house to deal with some squirrels in the attic,
As one does.
and the renter handed him an envelope
Oh, shit.
from the watcher.
Cool.
It said, "Violent winds and bitter cold. To the vile and spiteful Derek and his wench of a wife,
Maria's
Maria.
all in. Maria loves this letter. Continue.
You wonder who the watcher is? Turn around, idiots." That sounds like Maria.
Like,
Maria,
honest
you are
to
the
God,
watcher.
honest to God, like I remember writing that.
Turn around, idiots.
Violent winds.
And you do use wench a lot.
Well, yeah, when I'm talking about my friends.
Yeah. Maybe you even spoke to me, one of the so-called neighbors who has no idea who the watcher could be. Or maybe you do know, and you're too scared to tell anyone. Good move. I watched as you watched from the dark house in an attempt to find me. Telescopes and binoculars are wonderful inventions.
I wrote this. Like, it's not even, like, this is exactly, yes. And it's, like, the funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna, like, use this as a writing sample.
I was the watcher.
Like a monologue in acting class.
I was the watcher. Yeah, I wrote this. I don't remember fully, but it's my voice.
And the letter also talked about revenge that was coming. It said, maybe a car accident, maybe a fire, maybe something as simple as a mild illness that never seems to go away, that makes you feel sick day after day after day after day. Maybe the mysterious death of a pet. Loved ones suddenly die. Planes and cars and bicycles crash. Bones break.
Planes crash.
I know.
What you gonna do, watcher?
So the tenants ended up staying despite the letter. And because the cost of rent didn't cover their mortgage, though, so they were still losing money. And then on Christmas Eve, 2017, several neighbors had received anonymous letters.
Oh my gosh.
They'd been delivered by hand to the homes of people who had been the most vocal in criticizing Derek. So the letters accused the families of speculating incorrectly about Derek and Maria. They were signed Friends of the Broadduses.
That's weird.
And so Reeves, the author of this cut article, he interviewed Derek and he asked if he had written those letters. He said that Derek paused for a moment, then said yes.
What?
The letters that were sent to the neighbors.
Oh.
He said he wasn't proud of it, and he hadn't even told his wife, and he said they were the only anonymous letters he'd written, but he had felt driven to his wit's end.
Are you out of your mind, Derek?
Yeah, that's an insane thing to do.
Crazy. Like, of course people are going to, like,
Now
oh,
think
you
that
wrote
this whole
those
thing is
letters?
You, then you wrote all of
Yeah.
them. Derek.
Oh my God,
That's
Derek.
a party foul, Derek.
Uh-huh.
In August 2019, they finally sold the house
Yeah.
for $959,000.
Yeah.
They bought it for $1.3 million and put $100,000 of renovations into it. So they lost money on it, but whatever, shit happens.
But then
it's being made, or it was already made?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And it doesn't have great. I didn't watch The Watcher on Netflix, but it doesn't have great reviews.
Made with Ari Schulman, but he's done a lot of stuff, hasn't he? Hold on, I'm Googling him.
It was like a bidding war for the rights to this article.
Oh my God, he's hot. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so he did the documentary Catfish, not the TV show, the documentary, and he also did Paranormal Activity 3 for the movie Nerve. Google him. Google image him. He's hot.
Go for it, girl. Is he?
It doesn't look like he's in a relation.
Wow. Okay.
Is everyone Google imaging him?
Yes.
No, but I believe you.
No, Maria, do it.
What is his name?
Ariel Schulman.
Ariel Schulman.
The mermaid?
Wait, is this Neve's brother?
Oh my God, is he Neve's brother?
Oh, it's Neve's brother, yeah. Because Neve and his brother made the Catfish movie.
Oh, and it looks like he is married. Wait,
I can't.
I think he's married to someone also named Ariel.
Ariel Schulman.
Oh no, he's married to someone named Haley Gates, I think.
Oh, this guy from the Catfish movie.
Well, it's not Neve, it's his brother.
I think it's his brother.
So he's the one who
didn't Neve punch a woman in the face in an elevator?
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of that family. Never mind. Party foul.
I told you I went on a date with Neve, right?
No, where'd you meet Raya?
No, this was 6 years ago.
What happened?
From Twitter.
Shut the front door. How was it?
Or it was 2012. It was long time ago.
Oh my God.
He just started following me on Twitter. It was after that whole airplane thing, and I had seen Catfish, and I was like, oh, cool movie. And I had just moved back to LA from New York, and he's like, do you want to hang out? And then he came and picked me up on his motorcycle.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
And we went to Larchmont and had some cupcakes.
Oh my God.
And
basic ass date, Melissa.
Did you kiss?
No, I did not. That was the only time I hung out with him.
Did you touch his wiener?
No, I did not.
Did he touch your wiener?
No, there was no touching. I started dating someone right after that, so I just kind of
faded out.
Yeah, faded out.
The slow fade.
What's the Watcher series? I don't see it anywhere.
Well, there's a movie, but what's crazy is that there was a bidding war on it, and the rights sold for 6 or 7 figures, right?
Yeah, I was.
So the guy who wrote the article and then the owners of the house got a lot of money, maybe $1 million. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
All's well that ends well.
In 2016 is when the movie came out?
Well, 2018, they sold the rights for a movie on
I don't
Netflix.
see it anywhere.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's not out yet.
Oh, 2018 and Deadline, Netflix wins heated auction for film rights to The Watcher. They paid 7 figures for rights package. Wow.
So I don't know if they've made it yet.
The Watcher.
I should maybe write. I should maybe write The Watcher.
Oh no, The Watcher.
Write the letters.
Oh no, The Watcher is a different movie in 2016.
Yeah, this
they
movie
got
isn't
bad
out
reviews. Okay, but there's another movie called The Watcher.
You're thinking of The Witcher from December 20th, 2019. And it's a man that looks like some sort of knight.
There's one with Keanu Reeves. The Watcher 2016 Oh, that's yeah, I guess it's not out yet.
There is something there. I think there might be a French movie. Because there's
a lot of movies called The Watcher.
A young couple are tormented by unseen forces trying to force them out of their home.
Oh.
But that might not be based on this. That might just be...
What year was that?
2016.
Oh, it might be, but it's not the Netflix one.
No, and this is French.
Huh. Maybe it might be based on it.
Yeah. It could also just be a horror movie called The Watcher. I feel like that's a pretty...
Yeah. The Watcher TV series.
Who knows?
Stars rapper Sir Mix-a-Lot as the Watcher.
Shut the front door.
What the hell is
that? I like big butts.
Oh, that's from 1995. Yeah, there's a Korean one. There's so many things called the fucking Watcher.
I used to manage my team with spreadsheets. It was a nightmare. And then
All right, what's happening?
I'm trying.
NBC bought the Watcher.
Who understands those rap guys? They only talk to her because
I like big butts and
cannot lie.
I like
Wow.
to watch and I can't deny.
That was the theme song of the show.
That was worth it.
So there is a TV show, NBC bought the Watcher. I don't know if they actually made it. That was in 2015.
I think
So-
that these might just be things that are called the Watcher and they're not
Yeah.
related to.
Allie, what happened?
Oh no, did you break the mic again? Oh, no.
I'm not helping you. You have to learn.
That's so mean. Perfect. Okay. So now let's discuss some theories. Because I have a lot of them.
Oh yeah. First theory is Maria.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that it was producer Maria.
I don't remember doing it.
Yeah, because it was your demon.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
it's the
100% like that sounds exactly like my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly what I would think was like kind of funny, kind of clever. Yeah, it could very
Wow.
well be.
Where were you in 2014?
I was here in LA, but
Can anyone confirm that?
I was never in New Jersey.
Well,
Maybe I mean no, I don't know.
Okay, well, my vote is for producer Maria.
one for Maria.
One for Maria. Okay, so it had to be someone who could listen to them and hear the kids' nicknames.
Yeah.
Or who just knew them already.
That's true.
Or it was
That's
coming
true.
from inside the house.
That's yes. So someone who knew them personally,
Yeah.
or someone who was just like hiding at the house listening to them.
What if it was someone who lived in who had what? Oh, okay. So you know the movie Parasite.
They're living in the basement.
What if there's a family who's been living there for ages?
Oh.
What if there's like a family in the basement, or what if like
That's why they mentioned don't go in the basement,
yeah?
because there's a fucking family in
What
there.
if there's like all these like houses during Prohibition and stuff had secret
Oh,
doors and
yep.
trap doors and
Yep.
whatever? What if there's a secret drawer or trap door or something in the wall where there's a whole other compartment, like apartment compartment or something like that, and there's a family living there?
Yeah, because when the original family that lived there, it was just a couple, but now this new family has kids, and they're like, oh, we don't want this nonsense.
Yeah, there's too much.
We had a
noise
nice,
and
quiet
ruckus.
life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's a family living inside the house.
Yeah. The
And
parasite
maybe-
theory.
The parasite theory.
Wait, how would they mail the letters?
They would just walk outside.
Yeah, sneak outside.
They sneak outside and go to
Go to the
the.
mail.
What happened
us.
when they put up the security cameras? They never saw anything.
No.
No, never saw.
Because they
anything.
did it too late.
Yeah.
You should have done
Yeah.
it after the first letter.
Yep.
Right.
Another theory is that it's Derek Brodus himself.
Himself. Yeah.
So maybe he had buyer's remorse,
Interesting. I mean, that could be it.
and the creepy letters were to gain publicity, and maybe he thought it would inflate the price.
Yeah.
But that seems, I don't know, that seems like a crazy thing to do.
Yeah, or maybe he was trying to like scare maybe it was his wife that wanted to move there and he didn't really want to, and maybe he was trying to scare his wife into wanting to move or something, or make her feel uncomfortable.
Because his wife did grow up on that block. Like that was,
interesting.
she was probably really pushing like, oh, this is our dream home. Like I grew up on this street.
Oh, well, then maybe it
was trying to scare his wife.
Yeah, or maybe the opposite. Maybe she wanted to move there because her family or she had maybe she was a fucking psycho and she had been watching the house, or she had some weird, maybe she was a witch and her family had been watching the house for ages.
Yeah.
And she was writing those weird letters.
Yeah, inside job.
Okay, so that's another one.
Another one is the neighbor,
Right.
Michael Langford.
Michael Langford.
I don't know. He has schizophrenia, so that's like, I don't know if, like, he does seem, from everyone's description, he's like, he's harmless. And if he were to send these letters, I don't think he'd be walking around the neighborhood looking into people's houses and looking into windows, making himself even more suspicious.
Right. Also, his female DNA.
Oh, right.
And it wasn't his sister's
Right.
DNA. So where was he getting that female DNA? Unless he had someone like captive, and I don't know. I'm going off the wall. The video game guy.
Oh, yeah, the guy that never got interviewed.
Right, who played the Watcher on his video game.
And he lived in the neighborhood?
Maybe it was his girlfriend's DNA. Maybe it was another woman's DNA.
Who would lick an envelope or a stamp? You don't need to lick a stamp anymore.
No.
Well, maybe they didn't lick it, but just like their hands touching it. Well, they typed it. So they had to like...
I'm just saying, like, what kind of person would lick an envelope knowing they didn't want to get caught?
Well, also one thing that's interesting is it said that the letters were sent from an actual post office.
Yeah, so someone dropped them off.
So there was no security footage or anything like that?
No, the mailman delivered them.
But also, couldn't the female DNA have been from someone at the post office? Like,
oh, true. I think they they tested probably the letters inside. So it wouldn't be a worker.
Interesting.
Yeah, they probably tested the actual letters itself. Yeah. I don't know.
You're the brains of this operation.
I don't
That's
know.
Smart.
What do I know? I thought it could be an angry coworker who was just mad at him.
Tell me more.
That's all I have. Maybe someone was just pissed at him because he works in insurance.
Okay.
Because I found his LinkedIn.
Oh, well, that's weird. Working in insurance is weird in general because that's like, there's money there, man.
Yeah, he's on LinkedIn.
Why is that funny? There is money in insurance.
I know. It's just the way you said it. Like
senior vice president.
Like you just discovered it like an hour ago. Of like you know what? There's money in that.
Senior vice president, AWAC. What's AWAC? Allied World. Allied World, based in Hamilton, Bermuda. Wait, what?
No, Melissa,
stop it.
Allied World. This is his. I clicked on his LinkedIn. That's him. That's Derek Brodus because I already stalked him. Senior Vice President, AWAC, Allied World, Hamilton, Bermuda. Is that where it's based?
Stop it.
Unless there's there's probably a office in New York.
No.
Why would it be in Bermuda?
It might just be a branch. But
no.
why did this go to Bermuda? I don't know if you guys
Guys.
noticed my shirt today.
Oh my God, her shirt says I traveled the triangle, Bermuda. She's shaking.
Guys.
Oh, it all goes back to Bermuda. Why does this company in Bermuda? Allied World.
Allied Watcher.
Allied Watcher.
All watchers.
Always.
Alliance.
Always
Watching.
What's the next letter?
AWAC.
Always watching. Always watching
all children.
Yes, Melissa. That's what it is. That's what it means.
It's related to Jeffrey Epstein. Where was Epstein's Island? Bermuda?
No, it was in the Bahamas or whatever.
I would think it might be on the border of the Bermuda Triangle.
It's probably all points of the triangle are all different child cult groups. Always watching
America's.
Well, how do we look up? Sorry.
Oh my God. Okay. AWAC may refer to airborne early warning and control.
What? What? Is
If you Google AWAC, it says abbreviation of Airborne Warning and Control
And
System.
an airborne radar system designed to detect aircrafts.
But it's also Allied World Insurance.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Allied.
I don't think it's an insurance agency. I think he works for the government.
Oh, he does.
I think it's a cover.
This is getting intense.
I'm sweating.
Can we look up Richmond Road, Hamilton, Bermuda?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, Google Street View it.
And then
Senior Vice President, April 2005, Hamilton, Bermuda, Allied World, Hamilton.
About us. We are, through its subsidiaries, is a global provider of insurance and reinsurance solutions. Allied World offers superior client service through a global network of offices and branches. We'll watch out for you.
What? No, Maria.
No. No. There's not when I Google map this Allied World Reinsurance, there's no address, there's just a question mark. I swear to God. It says approximate location. It just has a circle and there's no address for it. It says the road.
Oh my God.
It's not real.
So he works for this company in New Jersey?
I think so.
But is there any New Jersey office?
Probably not. Let's street view this.
Okay, yes, there is one.
Okay.
At 47 West River Road in Rumson, New Jersey. And that's right near the Barnacle Bills.
This is just a road with houses on it. Oh no.
It's all a cover.
It's all a cover.
But for what?
For the watcher. They just love watching people.
I think that it's some sort of government agency or some sort of something. Maybe the watcher's good.
Wait, by Richmond Road, there's a building called Bermuda Security Group.
Oh no.
Stop
That's
it.
right next to where this approximate location is.
Guys.
In Bermuda or in New Jersey?
In Bermuda.
Oh.
Oh. It was more interesting if it was in New Jersey.
BHS.
Where did we go when we were looking up Ghislaine? What website were we on when we found out she had that house? She had that company that
The dancers.
The
and stuff
dancers.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. Who knows?
That was a dark hole we went down.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know.
What's the Bermuda Road? It's Richmond
Road in Ontario.
They have an office in downtown LA.
Oh no.
Something's not adding up.
I agree with you.
27 Richmond Road. A holdings company. What's a holdings company?
I don't know. I don't know what business things are.
I did a business.
Okay, so basically he works for a company that also has an office in Bermuda.
Yes.
Okay.
And he works in insurance.
Allegedly.
So maybe but how would this be an insurance scam? Insurance company isn't going to give you money for someone sending creepy letters to your house. You can't be insured for letters.
Right.
What is reinsurance?
Well, it's probably when you don't have insurance anymore, and then you get insurance again. You're reinsuring yourself.
That's probably right.
Or another theory that I thought was cool was it could be the entire neighborhood was sending these letters.
Trying to get him out.
Yeah. Because they didn't like them.
That could be it also.
Because they seem like a very, like, stuck-up neighborhood. Like, they're very, like...
Like, we want our garages to
Yeah.
face this way, and we have a
Yeah.
neighborhood barbecue, and...
Yeah. Very cult-like. They were very... It was a cult.
Man, I'm really
don't know.
stuck on this Bermuda thing. I would love to figure out...
What's the guy's name again? The daddy?
Derek Brodus. Daddy Derek.
How do you spell Brodus?
Broadd.
Wait, sorry, start again?
Broaddus.
Okay, found it.
He's on Twitter, but all he does
is.
is retweet true crime stuff, like true crime stories.
Oh, wow.
About the Watcher?
Just about everything.
Okay, so he's listening to this.
Yeah, he said, "Hey Horace." His pinned tweet is, "Hey Horace, how's the hoax theory you started about my family holding up? I'm still waiting for my apology. #gutless."
Oh.
Well, let's make it clear. We're not implicating anyone here. I mean,
No.
if anything, this was the squirrels that were in the attic.
Yeah, it was this quote, squirrels. I don't know.
Brodus? Broddis?
Broaddus. I kind of think it was the neighbor Michael Langford. I don't know.
All right. I mean,
I don't know.
He's obsessed. He's obsessed with crime
Yeah.
and cold cases and
Yeah.
testing kits.
Yeah, so that's weird. I wonder if he was obsessed with that before this whole stuff started.
Yeah.
Because if he was, then that's like, okay, maybe this is something that you are doing yourself. But also, they sold the house they lost $400,000. But they got a lot of money from this Netflix deal. They got potentially like close to $1 million.
Like he like one of his tweets is a retweet, and it's like, write a happy story in 3 words, and he wrote DNA solves cases. Like,
Yeah, he's like a huge advocate for like DNA and true crime, and it's weird.
can we call him and talk to him?
I mean, like, I feel like the way he's retweeting true crime podcasts. Like,
Yeah.
he's...
You think his wife is like, oh, Tarek, come on, like, stop.
Yeah, I tried to find her like online on Facebook. I couldn't really find anything. So she's probably like over it.
Maybe we can, well, I don't know. He probably doesn't want to talk to us.
He retweeted a New York Magazine article and said, 1 year ago this came out. Thanks for telling part of our story. We have the asterisks female DNA. Still no arrests. Victims shouldn't have to beg cops to do their job. Still no correction or apology. Hashtag stalking is terrorism. Hashtag watched. Hashtag test every kit.
Okay. So he's mad at the...
He's mad at the cops.
Okay.
I mean, homeboy's not over it.
No.
He's like still in it.
And it's crazy because like he got a lot of money for this movie. It's like...
Wow, someone out there is really honking their horn.
Hey.
Honk if you love web crawlers.
No, they stopped. They stopped. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So maybe our next move is we can maybe DM him and see if he wants to get on a mini episode.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, do you have any final words, Melissa? Oh, I'm gonna close the window. I had to open it because of the fucking stench.
Look, don't talk to me.
I don't know. I think it's might be Michael Langford, but then I'm like, but it's female DNA, so that kind of crushes that theory.
Maria, do you want to?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you want to say anything about the letters that you wrote?
I think they're poetic. I think they're fun. I think they're...
You think they're grand and beautiful?
I think they're... Yeah, and I think they're a little spooky.
Yeah, I think so too. If you have any insights or opinions or theories yourself, Melissa, where can people write us?
You can email us at webcrawlerspod@gmail.com or send us a message on Twitter or Instagram at webcrawlerspod. You can hit us up on Reddit or Facebook, Webcrawlerspod.
And as usual, if you want to watch our videos, live streams of our podcast a day early, join our Patreon, patreon.com/webcrawlers. And we will be releasing more special episodes soon. So look for that coming up. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetton.
Bye.
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 An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.